Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting Art of War Tier List Tuesday! Today we are talking about the brand new Imperial Knight Codex, so I had to bring in our Knight expert, Brian Jones, one of the best Knight players in the world. I believe you've even won a Best Knights in the ITC once or twice.
I have indeed. I am so excited to dive into this book, John. And up front, I've got to say I am so excited because, oh my gosh, I can finally use like 90% of the data sheets.
Absolutely.
That's unreal. And I mean, almost every data sheet at the Codex and almost every Imperial Armor, although we do still have some stinkers there. But
there's a lot to talk about though.
Yeah, I am stoked.
We're super excited to talk about this. We're going through all of the data sheets available to Imperial Knights with their new Codex, and we're ranking them. Of course, if you like Imperial Knights, make sure you like this video. We've also put up a review of the Codex. If you haven't watched that yet, you want to get Brian and I's initial thoughts as we read through this book for the first time, make sure you check out that video right on our YouTube channel. Of course, you'd already know that if you subscribed to the YouTube channel, because we do notify you every time we go live. As a matter of fact, we're even, I think we're gonna even have a game with these Imperial Knights on the YouTube channel pretty soon. And of course, we'll have even more in the war room. So like the video, share with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and all of that really massively helps us. So thank you so much for that. And of course, if you want to see even more, head on over to the war room. That's the link in the description below, thewarroom.vhx.tv. You can even get a free 3-day trial there. All right. Enough of the pleasantries and the titles, Brian. Shall we talk about some knights?
Titles are everything for
I know titles are
period
everything. I know I could print this on a long purity seal. Like and subscribe, baby. But instead, we are going to talk about these knights. So we are going to talk through every data sheet in this codex, as well as some of the Imperial Armor ones, and we're going to rank them. Yeah, and I think we're just going to rank them S through D. We're just going to rank them the old-fashioned way. Now, what do you want to factor in when we're making these rankings, Brian?
So when I'm taking a look at the data sheets, I'm thinking about how they fit into chapter approved and the missions we're playing right now, the meta that we're seeing, although it's rapidly changing, and then also the detachments, because we do have 4 distinctly different but powerful detachments within this book, and we also have Questoris Forge Pact. But I'm mostly thinking through those 4 detachments, and some of them leverage certain data sheets very well in only one setting. Other data sheets, you can take it in just about any detachment and get great value out of it. But for me, it's talking about the data sheet, not just in the abstract, but also how the detachments can benefit it.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. And I think when we're ranking this, you know, we are mostly thinking this through the lens of a tournament list. Yeah. Are you going to take this to a tournament? Is it good at it in a tournament viable list? And so we'll factor in not only does this appear in the best list that we think is available, but we're not really sure what that is yet. So we're also going to kind of factor in, you know, how many detachments is this useful in? Is this good in the Armiger detachment? Is this good in all detachments? We'll kind of factor that in as we make our rating as well.
And if we see benefits for a data sheet that could be leveraged in a team setting, but potentially not in a single setting,
we'll call that out, but, you know, we will factor it in.
Yeah.
Objective markers are essential to every game of Warhammer 40k, so why not try out the latest in objective marker technology for your own games? These objectives are significantly thinner than the neoprene markers you see at your local game store and tournaments, so it's very easy to put them under ruins and models. They feature minimalist and clear designs so that they blend into your existing terrain and mats. Functional, while removing the visual clutter to make your battlefields more immersive. The objective markers ship from the United Kingdom to the EU, US, and Australia. What are you waiting for? Try them out now.
Let's just start at the front, shall we?
I'm all right.
All right.
Dive right in.
So I think we start with the Dominus Knights.
Yeah, our 2 Dominus Knights right off the bat.
We start with the Castellan, which is the longer range of the 2 Dominus Knights that are still shooty.
Yep, 8-inch move. He's only a 3-up save now, which is a bit of a hit.
He is cheaper.
He's cheaper. He's cheaper than our new Knight Defender, which is something.
That is true.
He's only OC 8 in the Codex. Wish we'd seen OC 10 on those guys. But 28 wounds, so hanging around for quite a while. And while the 8-inch move might be a hang-up, it's just bringing a lot of weapons.
Yeah, so with all of these weapons available, it's probably the best long-range shooting knight where you struggle to get really good at high AP anti-tank at a certain range bracket. And I think AP is what the Castellan notably brings to the table that others don't. You can still get good anti-tank shooting, though, out of like a Defender at 36. Yeah. Now, Defender's not very good at 37, but how realistic is that?
Yeah, how often
36 is fine.
But seeing things that are beyond 24, which is, you know, where a thermal cannon hits. But even then, you really want to be within 12 for that one. So the Castellan has always fit the niche of long-range anti-tank with high AP shooting, which, as we've seen in the index, we've struggled as Knights to bring high AP to bear. So I think that's why the Castellan has consistently found places in the meta. And I think it will continue to do so. I think the Volcano Lance continues to be one of the scariest guns out there.
E3 shots, though, is...
E3 blast.
Anything can happen.
Yep. But there are some ways to throw some sustained on there and some other things that could be helpful. And then the Plasma, let's see, is it Plasma Decimator now? That's right. You're seeing D6 plus 3 shots, Strength 8 or Strength 9, but AP 3 and AP 4. So
again, the high AP niche just wasn't
correct.
Film.
So I think when you're looking at the top weapons, I feel like I'm bringing 2 sets of the missiles and only one of the twin Siegebreaker cannons, because the twin Siegebreaker cannon does not really fit the rest of what you're trying to bring with Castellan, which is high AP valuable shooting, Strength 6, AP 0, 1 damage.
Yeah. So how strong is this? How likely is this to make it in your list? Are there any detachments that you think you really like at Castellan in?
I think he's a solid B.
Yeah.
And I think in Valor Strike, I could see him becoming a staple. You could convince me if you're like, I think I could build a list to anchor around that. And that's because being able to give it assault and reroll advances suddenly removes a lot of my concerns about that 8-inch movement and lets it really hustle to bring its guns to bear where you need them. Whereas, unfortunately, on its base data sheet, it could just be outmaneuvered. Yeah. And when you talk about, and when you bring into account that datasheet ability where it can reroll all damage against vehicles and monsters, that can pull some weight in a whole heavy meta. So I think Valor Strike in particular addresses like the biggest weaknesses that can be exploited. It's still, well, actually, no, that detachment also provides a good answer to its weak combat in the Thunderstomp stratagem, where it can amp up its number of attacks and it increases the AP. So I think if there's a detachment, I'm looking to bring the Castellan, and you may hear me say this again in just a moment when we talk about our friend the Valiant.
Yeah.
I think it's probably Valor Strike.
But that is the detachment that we think might come out the gates as the strongest one.
Yes.
There's several contenders, so our answer changes every week. But right now, I'm feeling it might be Valor Strike might be the best one.
Just its ability to bring a lot of high movement with assault and allowing Knights to bring guns to bear where they normally might struggle to do so. It answers that in spades.
Yeah, so I'm with you on B tier. I think the Castellan is perfectly fine, not great. It has a build that I can really see it going into, but I think the majority of builds, you're not going to want this.
No.
Most of the time, you're not going to take a Castellan, and maybe we realize that one build is the best build, but at the moment, I'm inclined to say there's one potential build where you take it. I don't mind taking it there, but even then, it doesn't feel like it's a mandatory in that build.
No.
It's just a good option in that build, and we'll kind of figure out together whether or not that's what we want to take.
And the reason for me that's a B and not a C is because it fills a niche that only it fills in our available data sheets, which is long-range high AP shooting.
Yeah, having one thing it does that no one else does, that's valuable.
Yep.
Anytime. Okay, so Castellan to B tier.
Yeah.
Now, the Castellan does have a twin.
It does.
Allegedly. I've never actually seen one. But I'm kidding. It's my favorite twin.
Yeah. The Knight Valiant.
The Knight Valiant exists.
He does. Same stat line.
Yeah.
Different weapons now. He got a glow up in his data sheet. The spear maybe not as, or the harpoon not as good.
Yeah, it's D3 shots. I think it's better. It has the mortal wound pulse. It does something different from the Valiant, but the problem is that it wants to be up close.
And it's not good in combat.
It's not good in combat.
But again, this is where you could convince me in Valor Strike it's worth taking. And that's, again, because you can get it close, right?
Yeah.
We don't have a Mysterious Guardian option, which really kind of made this shine in the index because you could deep strike it in. However, when you can go 8 inches plus D6, re-rolling the advance roll, and I believe you add to it, suddenly it's moving a lot further than you think. It's getting that harpoon in range along with the flamer. And the pulse is handy. It's beefy, even if only a 3-up save. It's still T12, which does make the difference.
Yeah, it's like as tough as a Cerastus Knight, which is like, it's tough. It's not like that tough though. We've all killed those at this point.
That's true. But also being able to use Thunderstomp to actually help it get out of combat.
I hear you, but like every buff that you just said, I feel like I could put on a different knight and be happy about.
You're not wrong.
This knight tries to get within 18 of you and do damage. And I feel like within 18, you have a lot of options to do damage. And many of them are more points efficient than the Valiant.
And that's why I think he drops to it. He's a C.
I'm with you. C tier on the Valiant is where I'm going to this one.
If you really love him, more power to you.
Yeah.
And you can find a way to make him show up.
I think he's at his best in Valor Strike. Yep. But you can only take 3 or 4 knights at most. Yeah. And there are 4 knights at least who are at their best in Valor Strike.
100%. 100%.
That's going to be a problem for me.
So I think Dominus Knights are going to struggle to find the table outside of Valor Strike at all.
Yeah.
And even there, they're going to be hard pressed unless the meta shifts in a certain way to really carve out a defined role. All right. Let's jump into our bread and butter then. Questoris Knights, John. Let's jump in with the Paladin. I became a fan of him in the late life of the Index. He's gotten some tweaks here in the Codex. And I think we'll have a place in some lists. The Rapid Fire Battle Cannon brings a volume that we really want. And now we finally have good access to Ignores Cover.
Yeah, we've got a couple detachments to give Ignores Cover. It inherently can get +1 AP against the closest target, where it's probably also going to be in rapid fire range. All of a sudden, the Paladin's weak AP1 cannon might actually get to like AP2 Ignores Cover without jumping through any particularly difficult hoops.
Yeah.
At that point, that is a fundamentally different weapon.
Yes. AP2 Ignores Cover on
a different gun.
And I think there are Gate Warden, Valor Strike to some extent, Questoris Companions. Yeah. They want to leverage all phases for knights. And the Paladin does have the weaponry to contribute in both the fight phase and the shooting phase. I think, again, I've been falling more in love with our Reaper Chainswords just because having that higher AP in combat is nice. Its Bondsman is not useless, being lethal and lance that it hands out. I think if I had to say where it's probably at its best, be Gate Warden. Enhancement to give it Ignores Cover.
Yep.
It wants to be close to things because it's going to want to be on the defensive line.
In combat and shooting.
And you're going to hand it sustained hits.
And ignoring hit mods is actually quite good on these mixed knights.
Yes.
Because frankly, when you get on the line, there's a reasonable chance you end up in combat. And shooting out of combat with your blast weapons is normally bad because knights hate hit mods, but you ignore the hit mods if you're on the line and you're already there. So I can see this being useful in a couple of builds. It's quite good. I struggle to call it great yet. There's a couple of these Questoris chassis that are all competing around that top
for your
spot.
3 or 4 spots that you can fit at best.
And there's more than 3 or 4 of these, but at least compared to, I think, the Index, the Paladin is firmly putting itself in the conversation.
Definitely. And that's more than it could have said before. And I think it certainly has a role meta-dependent. Like if we see 3-wound infantry becoming the absolute staple of everything, then hey, I will happily take this AP2 Ignores Cover 2d6 plus 6 blast.
Yeah, for sure.
And then AP4 in combat to just kill them. So I think it's definitely, it will see the table occasionally, but you're going to need to have a very specific role for it in mind.
Yeah. Where do you think that puts it on a letter? Like, are you...
See, I struggle then to think of it as an A because to me, A and S are approaching kind of auto-include, but it is, to me, a step ahead of the Castellan's datasheet.
Yeah, to me, this feels like it's like the lower end of A tier, where to me, it's like you're taking 3 or 4 big knights in most lists, is how I'm seeing this. And then you realistically are pulling those 3 or 4, unfortunately, from like a top 5, 6.
Yeah.
And I think...
Which is a great problem for us to have, I want to say. We've not had this before.
Magnets were invented for a reason, folks.
Yeah.
But I could see the Paladin easily making that, like, I'm in that top 5.
Yeah. If it was your 4th big, I don't know that I would question it super heavily.
Yeah, like if I ever see a Paladin in a list in most attachments, I'm just going to look and be like, oh yeah, that's a reasonable choice.
Yeah.
But I'm also never going to look at a list without a Paladin and be like, I cannot believe I didn't take the Paladin.
And that's where S tier for me exists.
Yeah, that's where if I'm surprised it's not there, that's when I know it's S tier.
Yeah. Fair.
So if it's A tier, it's bottom of A tier. If it's B tier, it's top of B tier. You want to pick a letter?
I'm gonna go B plus.
B plus.
I'm not ready to call it A because I do think that there are other knights that definitely deserve to be there.
I think I agree.
Yeah, and that takes us into the errant, where I similarly the errants. I hate seeing a detachment that completely renders its bondsman useless because it feels then useless in a detachment.
Because it gives assault.
Yes, it gives assault, which Valor Strike just gives.
Does it also give the real advance rolls?
It does.
Oh, which Valor Strike also gives.
Yes.
Great.
So, okay. So not useful there. Well, that's okay though. Maybe I want to take it right into Spearhead, the Armiger detachment, except I'm going to want to take big knights that are going to hand out their bondsmen to 3 different models. Am I going to...
Do I need 3 with that?
Do I need 3 with assault and rerolls assault? When there are other bondsmen, it's competing with other bondsman buffs that I would put on them.
Yeah.
To me, it's low end B going into C because it's a high priced thermal cannon.
It is. It's just a thermal cannon. A thermal cannon's good, but one thermal cannon is not reliable enough.
No. Too low of a shot volume, too much variance.
Yeah, I hate to say it because I think the problem is that the errant's too slow to get in melter range in most attachments, and the detachment where it's fast enough is Valor Strike, where it doesn't have a bondsman ability. I was like, ugh.
And I'd rather
have a Crusader.
Yep.
And so I'm really feeling with this errant. Unfortunately, I'm in C tier.
Yeah, I
think it's noticeably worse than the Paladin, the Castellan. To me, it's the worst of the Questoris Knights.
It does not. I struggle to give it a defined role, and that for me is why it lands in C.
And it just means it's never cracking that coveted top 3-4.
Yeah, there's not. You just can't convince me it's the best at something.
No.
And that's the struggle. So
I agree.
I wish I know it was good in the index, but it is definitely for better. I'm happy.
It lacks a unique role.
Yeah, it lacks a unique role, and the other knights have gotten better, which is a great thing. That takes us to our friend the Gallant.
This is your friend, the Gallant. He's not my friend.
That's true. I do love the glow up that the Gallant's got, getting lethal hits or dev wounds baked into his different weapon options depending on what profile he picks.
Yeah, sure.
There's a little bit of a trade-off. He's lost any kind of defensive buffs, but I think he has a defined place if you want a purely offensive traits piece.
Mm-hmm.
He's 20 points cheaper than the closest competitor I would give him, which is the Lancer.
Sure.
He trades the invuln that the Lancer brings for more attacks.
And better attacks.
Better attacks.
Yeah.
With built-in lethal or lethal or dev.
Yep.
And he can also bring a carapace weapon. He can bring a stubber, which, yes, I know that sounds like not much.
Something.
But the Lancer struggles to contribute outside of a single phase.
Yeah.
And the Gallant at least can give you some incidental shooting. It has a slightly lower move, but at the cheaper points cost and with some of the enhancements available. And I do think its bondsman ability is noteworthy in that it gives reroll charges and reroll all hits for an Armiger. So when you're talking about a Spearhead, you can convince me that that has a place there.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. There's 2 defined combat knights is a problem, right?
Yeah.
And it's just Lancer versus Gallant. It's cheaper, it's slower, it's probably harder.
Yep.
It's not as durable. Cheaper is good, slower is bad. Less durable is bad, hits harder is good. It's all right, 2 for, 2 against. I err on the side of durability and speed being the most important stats though.
I agree. I think if its points dropped a little to make it a bigger difference between it and the Lancer, I think I would feel differently. I think right now, I would drop it in the B category.
It's B, but I think it's like the lower end of B is where I'm putting this. I feel like a lot of other B tier things. To me, it's like Castellan tier.
Yep.
It's I could see it.
It has a defined role because it's one of only 2 melee options.
Yep.
It's just the lesser of the 2 as far as we need to be able to survive. We don't have an army-wide feel no pain available to us anymore.
Yep.
And so the Lancer now really kind of outshines it a little bit in that.
Yeah, you're not going to have rotate down shields in every detachment.
Yeah.
And so something where the Lancer's I don't need to rotate down shields in Gate Warden because 1, it doesn't exist. 2, I already have a 4-up invuln. And when you're in Gate Warden and this guy is just a 5-up invuln with no feel no pain, he's just not that
26 wounds goes real fast.
26 wounds goes fast when it just adds up.
Yeah. Now, the B is caveated with, I do think if the points dropped it would find a place. And I think in Spearhead, you could convince me that it's B+ looking at an A because you're going to give it a defined role, which is I want to be aggressive with several of my warglaives and I want them to be efficient.
Yeah, and that's a role.
Yes.
I just think that right now it's just a little bit off it.
It's not a role we need right now.
Next is the Warden, who had a reasonable change where he replaced his defensive buff that he gave the bondsman with an offensive buff.
And it's a good
Profile is still the same. His profile's really not bad, but it's a whole different world out here.
Yeah, it's a whole different world. He gives out sus1 and ignore cover, which you immediately look at that and you're like, man, that's really good for Helvarans.
Good for Helvaran for sure.
Now, on the flip side, though, we have the Castigator, which has almost an identical weapon. Mm-hmm. Actually, it very well may be. They're both
identical
shots,
but twin-linked.
Twin-linked. And that to me, yes, the Warden has dev wounds against non-monsters and vehicles.
It is good.
But not dependable. Twin-linked is good all of the time.
Yeah.
And the Castigator hits hard in combat with more attacks than the Warden has. More movement. And more wounds.
Yep.
And that's where I struggle. The cost, it's a 10-point difference, which is essentially the same. Yeah. And the Castigator, to me, there's a notable difference in the bondsman abilities if you're chasing it. The Castigator is sustained and +1 AP, which is good all of the time.
It's always as good as ignores cover. And if you either A, find another way to ignore cover, B, find a way to shoot something without cover, it's better.
Yes.
So sometimes just as good and sometimes it's better.
So given that the Cerestus Knights also have 2 more OC over the Questoris,
yeah,
for me, the Warden, he has a great buff ability. He really does.
Yeah,
but he's in the C tier for me.
C.
I don't think he has a place. I think any role you bring him for, someone else does better.
It breaks my heart. I don't disagree. It just makes me sad.
Yeah. I know people have fallen in love with it in the index, the ability to mythic hero it.
Yeah.
And you look at the Spearhead detachment, you go, oh, I'd love to bring him to buff my Armigers. But again, you have the Castigators right there.
Yeah.
And you have the Defender, you have the Palette, you just have better bondsman buffs that you'd love to hand out.
I hear you on that one.
I know that that's harsh, but
I think the Castigator comparison just sinks somewhere. The Gallant to the Lancer we saw, it's like, oh, at least it hits harder and it's cheaper. This one is cheaper, but it's only 10 cheaper, not 20 cheaper. And then it also it hits not necessarily harder than a Castigator. You get an extra gun, you get an extra heavy flamer, you get a few things, you lose twin linked. I think the Castigator strikes me as slightly better in combat. Not a ton, but a little bit, and that matters. Yeah, it doesn't compete it is such a direct comparison of same bondsman abilities, same gun. One of them is faster, better in combat, tougher, and that one is 10 points more. And you're like, okay, well, fair enough then.
Every time
it needs to be cheaper than the Castigator by enough to notice, and it's not.
Yeah. Or some other tweak to make the damage.
I really just think it needs to go down 15.
Yeah, and then again, you run into the same thing that you could run into with the Lancer Gallant comparison of, well, now I'm talking if I'm taking these cheaper options, I'm looking at, maybe I'm squeezing in an extra Armiger or something like that.
Maybe a Warden with an enhancement is better than a Castigator.
There you go.
It's just a conversation.
Yeah.
But not one that we're going to have today. So I'm with you. I am going to put the Warden above the Valiant. I think he's better than that, but he is not getting it at a C tier.
Yeah. It's just because, hey buddy, I like you, but everybody else does the things you do well better.
It's not me, it's you.
Yeah.
On to the next.
The Knight Crusader.
This one's one of my favorites.
I wholeheartedly agree. I think the Crusader, so he brings, again, when we're talking about unique niches, he brings something that no other knight we have, which is volume shooting.
Yes.
There is no other knight that does what he does when it comes to volume shooting.
Okay.
And that niche, which is something we need, because
it's valuable to fill.
It's incredibly valuable to fill. I think there are ways to continue to buff him in multiple detachments. His bondsman ability is just a straight +1 to hit with ranged weapons, which has value.
Yep, helps.
When I look at this one, I think about what it can accomplish in Valor Strike, what it could accomplish in Questoris Companions,
Gate
Warden, where it doesn't need to stand still anymore. It's just got to touch the line to get +1. To me, this Crusader is an A tier knight.
Yes, I agree. The Crusader is my favorite one we've covered so far. I quite like it. Volume shooting is very valuable. There's a couple of detachments that each give it a different value piece, right? In Gate Warden, you get sustained and ignore mods. Okay, so if you get tagged, you're actually still in a decent place.
Yep.
You can get fallback and shoot in Questoris, or you can just go insanely fast and have a reactive move in Valor Strike. Maybe in the Armiger detachment,
There are other buffs you probably would take before.
The 3 best detachments all have a real and legitimate application that they add to this Crusader, and he's one of our better knights, and he's priced for it, but I think he's just worth it.
I agree, especially when you think about Valor Strike and Gate Warden both give him easy access to an enhancement that is ignores cover, which has been one of the biggest struggles and why we've not usually seen a rapid fire battle cannon.
Yeah.
I think he's A tier. I think we're going to see him frequently. And honestly, he's one of the things that concerns me with Valor Strike, when you have this Crusader that can just move at blazing speed across the table, bringing that many guns to bear, when normally one of the counterplay besides tagging it would be outmaneuvering it.
Yeah, it's hard to do here.
Yeah.
I think solid A tier. As we end up with multiple knights in A tier at some point, I honestly think he's going to be in towards the upper end of it too. Like,
I do. I think he stands.
We'll see where everyone else fits in, but so far I feel very good about the Crusader. I think he's just a great choice.
I agree. And that brings us to what I am going to probably say is, I think, our first S tier data sheet.
Yep.
And that's our newest one, the Knight Defender.
I agree.
I think there's no way outside of Valor Strike where you could convince me, because you still have access to rotate ion shields. Yeah. Outside of Valor Strike, I don't think there's a single way you leave the Knight Defender at home.
No.
I don't.
Gate Warden, Questoris. What's the name of the Armiger detachment? Spearhead. Those 3, automatic, has to be in the list.
It has to be there.
You could not convince me otherwise. Valor Strike, I would say he's merely good.
Yes.
So like good enough to take, still, to be clear. Not like oh yeah, okay.
He's one of your top 4 options.
Yeah, not like he has a great personality kind of good. Like, he's very good in Valor Strike. I just think that there's enough knights valuable that you could leave him at home, but I still think I would probably find a way to take him anyways.
He brings phenomenal anti-vehicle range shooting at 36-inch range.
Yep, which better bracket than what you normally have. He has a 4-up invuln all of the time. Very strong against other shooting armies.
The buff he gives every other knight is insanely well worded to benefit us. He hands out 4-up invulns and benefit of cover very easily.
Yes.
And then his bondsman is with a -1 damage.
Which is very good.
Yeah. I want to hand that out to 3 different Armigers in Spearhead. Every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
You have to take that.
Yeah.
You can't take it just otherwise.
And I just think when you combine all that too with the guns that he has, you know,
great guns.
Yeah, I don't know where the Mechanicum dusted off the conversion beamer, but
is it a conversion obliterator? What is it?
Conversion beam obliterator. But wherever they found it, I wanted to keep digging because I'll take more weapon lines like that.
Even as I talk through this, it's hard to see not taking him in Valor Strike. And the other 3, I'm not even willing to entertain a conversation.
No. And one of the best things I like about him, particularly in Gate Warden, is, so Gate Warden, you're always thinking about, I need to be towing the line so that I get that sustained. Well, actually, he's got sustained built into the conversion beamer already. So if I need him off the line to be providing the buff to others, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And then when you think about handing him like Inquisitor at Arms, the enhancement in Gate Warden, where he gives the Armiger not only -1 damage, but his OC characteristic as well. Okay, talk about a trading piece to send out at your opponent's expansion. Like, sure.
It's very difficult to dislodge, yeah.
Yeah, so he's S tier. I don't know how you leave him at home. If you're taking any detachment not named Valor Strike and you don't have him in the list, I'm going to ask you why.
Yeah. Yeah, if I didn't see him in the list, I would be surprised and relieved.
Oh, yeah, if you're coming to the table and you don't have him, I feel so much better about my shooting into you.
Yeah. I could also see him being phenomenal in Knight and Mirrors. I'll just say that out loud.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's very strong in Mirrors. So.
Yes. Anytime
there's a new Knight Codex, there's going to be a couple Knight players usually dusting off the Knights. They're already very popular. Chaos Knights are popular right now. He's just good into the meta, and he's good in all the detachments, and he's good into the mirror, and he's just good into other things too.
Yeah, and I think, even though we've said he'd be skippable in Valor Strike, there's some synergies in those enhancements I still would keeping him around is real nice.
So want to, yeah.
So,
all right, so as tier for the Defender, put him at the top.
He's our newest kit. Get excited. I hope you pre-ordered him. That brings us to our final 2 Questoris chassis in the Codex. And now I'm excited about this one, the Knight Preceptor, because he has been our forgotten
He's been
chassis.
awful.
He's been terrible.
He's been terrible.
You're going, the Preceptor, what is that? It's what Canis Rex is that's not Canis Rex. Yeah. That's why you've never seen them. Now, I think he got a real glow up in the data sheet And he's priced to move at 365. So he's our cheapest Big Knight option. He's still bringing that same defensive stat line and wounds.
Yeah.
And not only did he get the glow up in his ability, but his bondsman ability got a big glow up. It's not leadership in OC.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
It's giving, it's giving an Armiger full rerolls to wound, which is, as I was just going through the book again with John talking through it, not something we have a lot of access to.
Yeah.
Unless you can find twin linked, you're not really finding ways to reroll all wounds.
Not a lot at all.
So I think that there are definitely going to be, particularly I think it's going to be 4 big lists. I think the only way you're going to find a way to make one of those function is to include that Preceptor. And I'm not going to disagree with anybody. I think he's knocking on the door of A tier for me. And it's a combination of the price and the data sheet. That's why.
So do you think he's better than the Paladin? Because the Paladin was the last one to knocking on the door. I mean, he's got a good gun. He has Canis Rex's gun just without the sustained and crit 5s.
Yep.
Just like Canis. So like,
I think he's a B plus. He's a B plus. He's knocking on the door.
I'm super with you on at least B tier. He's not in C. He's at least B tier, and so he's already the highest he's ever been. I'm struggling to put him ahead of the Paladin.
No. I think
he's right with it.
For me, he's ahead of the Paladin in that I do think his price point creates the ability for 4 bigs.
He is cheaper. How much is a Paladin? He's 365?
He's 365. The Paladin's 385.
Okay. 20 points at a certain point does matter a lot.
Yes. And when you're, if you're taking these cheaper options,
super repeatedly, 2 quarries, make it easy.
Yeah. It's a lot of rerolls.
Good.
Now I think if points continue to adjust and he were to go like 360, 355, then he's really knocking on the door for me.
I'd be surprised if Knights got cheaper anytime soon.
I think we're all feeling a little bit of a resistance to that for the time being.
Surprised.
But I do think at some point, as we've talked about this, they need to find some ways to create some stratification.
Yeah.
Now, I think part of what he might drop him below or keep him even with the Paladin for me also is that I do think he's good in every detachment.
That's fair.
I actually think he's kind of terrifying in the Spearhead.
Yeah.
Because if you are going into somebody who's got what's supposed to be a big durable unit, and they're like, oh, it's going to take you a lot to get it. If I can give 3 Armigers and a Preceptor 4 rerolls to wound against that.
It does pass the stat check better than normal.
Yes. So that's, I think, I don't question him in any detachment. Especially if there's, the first question would be like, cool, what did he allow you to bring? I think that's always going to be a question.
Take you to cheaper Knight, get you something, because at least he's good for the cheaper Knight. He's not worthless for the cheaper Knight.
It's the combination of being the cheapest and what else did he unlock and let you do? That's where I would say B tier for me.
You're still thinking B?
I think B. I think B.
Okay. B tier for the Preceptor.
Well, I think a huge step forward from
forward.
Where he's been, the Abyss, where he's been lingering.
So we now have
the better
Preceptor
version.
Plus.
Yeah.
Talking about Canis Rex. He's not the same Canis as before, but he still has a lot of it. And that free strat staying at per player turn, that's the big selling point here, right?
Keeping that softens the blow of losing crit 5s, for sure. One noticeable thing is also, I don't love that leadership change.
Oh yeah,
I wish he'd stayed at 5.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you can get him back all of his old toys in certain detachments. And I think in Valor Strike and in Gate Warden, he really shines because of that discounted strat, because both of those detachments feature multiple stratagems that target multiple knights. Thus, if you target Canis as one of them, that stratagem becomes free or discounted to 1 CV.
Yeah.
And I think in certain Valor Strike builds, he's almost an auto-include specifically because of that ability.
Valor Strike has like 2 or 3 stratagems that are pick a bundle of knights that are within like a 24-inch diameter circle or something like that. 18, whatever it was. Pick like a cluster of knights. And so Canis just repeatedly doing that while also having just a free reroll of a save or a rotation on their turn. It just feels too good to pass.
Or free rotate because you have rotated Valor Strike.
Yeah.
Like it just
something.
That detachment skews his value for me. And then Gate Warden Gate Warden opens the door for us to bring back old Canis.
Yeah.
Take some stratagems, but you can discount them. You get crit 5s. And now you could stack 4 rerolls to hit on that in the fight phase.
That's even crazy.
Okay. Canis is back to just throwing things into the sun.
Yeah.
He still has the same weakness though.
So I think like because he lost the crit 5s all the time, He's no longer an auto take every detachment. I don't think I would almost ever take him in the Armiger detachment.
Never.
Basically never.
He has no place in
He
Spearhead.
doesn't do anything. In Questoris companions, he's fine, but I don't think he's really like making the cut.
He's not the auto include that he was because he just doesn't synergize necessarily as well.
But Valor Strike, I'll take him.
Valor Strike and Gate Warden, I will take him all day.
So he's
now
like he's good in half the detachments, but he's quite good when he's good. And we also think we think Valor Strike's like the best of the detachments. We think Gate Warden is solid.
Mhm.
So we think that Companion's the one that you don't take him in is like the worst of them. So like
you could make an argument to me that Companions offers much more stability than Gate Warden. I think Gate Warden is going to be fun.
Yeah.
But if it gets solved, like if there's a way to solve that line mechanic, Gate Warden will fall off.
That's fair.
But I think in those, he can really shine. He's 50 points more than the Preceptor. Like that is
50's a lot.
He's 415. So a lot. That's where the free strat, in all honesty, that's what gets me. And there's going to be one time where I remember to unbattle shock something. That
it's genuinely a good rule.
It is a good rule.
Yeah.
I just have to remember it.
Well, it's for when you walk through a wall with a Lancer and you realize, oh God, I roll a 1.
Yeah, that's
Strikes that real fast.
Yep, I need to be able to tank shock or advance and charge or whatever.
Whatever it has to be. Move Canis over and fix it real quick for you.
So I think he's still an A data sheet.
I think he's A tier. Yeah, he's not S. He's not everywhere. But I would take Canis and not feel bad about it in quite a few types of lists here. He's quite good. To me, he's right up there. Maybe
in the list that he is good, he's very good. Yeah, that's why he's staying in A. When we're going to
see Canis, it's because he's doing great things. If you don't see Canis, he wasn't going to do his best, and you just don't take him at that point because he's too expensive.
Yeah, that to me is what keeps him in A. While there are 2 detachments you leave at home, he is a linchpin of the other 2 detachments.
Yes,
that you include in.
So yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
After that, are we just at Armigers?
We're at our Armigers. Yep, our Helverin, which
lost the anti-fly, a little bit sad. It's still pretty solid, and it gets the it gets -1 to hit at the thing it shoots at.
It gets -1 to hit against things it shoots at, which to your next turn. So that's
not
shooting
nothing,
and fight phase. So when I think about, I don't know, say somebody had Thunderhammer Terminators, and maybe if I shot them with a Helverin and then suddenly they were hitting on 5s,
that would be cool.
That could have been a cool thing for someone to remember.
Yeah, but like, I just don't know if that's going to come up in time.
Yeah.
That suppression ability has never impressed me on any.
No, and the problem is that it doesn't impact monsters and vehicles, because the things I want to take away -1 to hit on are usually monsters and vehicles.
Yeah.
That's where it just gets rough. I mean, hey, Khorne Berserkers, I don't mind taking -1 to hit off of that wallop of attacks.
No,
there are going to be some places where you go, oh, that's nice. Whereas Anti-Fly 2 was like, oh, this is my game plan.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
It's still good because you only have 2 Armigers and you kind of need Armigers.
So that's where I'm struggling, John, in all honesty, with the 2 Armiger data sheets in the Codex, is that they don't knock my socks off. But also I have to have them in lists.
Yeah, you got to take them.
So like,
I think they're B. I was gonna go bottom of A. You're just taking them more than Preceptors and more than Paladins.
No, that's true.
And the cool part of the Preceptor was that it buffed your Helverins. It's not better than the Helverin.
No, that's where I was trying to figure out is since we have to take them, I guess it does go into A.
Because
if I do see you with no Armigers, I'm going to have questions.
Yeah, if I see you with no Armigers, I'm like, wow, that's probably a mistake.
Yeah. So I think now, do you think that there's
the same for the next one?
I was going to say, do you think they're the same rating? And I think that the same points cost, I think they are.
I think the Warglaive is the exact same thing.
Yeah, we don't have enough stratification between the 2 of them for it to be, I won't lie, the Warglaive is better than it was in combat in like Gate Warden or anywhere you could give it sustained.
Yeah.
But the change to the thermal spear.
6 inches matters a lot.
Yeah, it does.
I was surprised by that. That hurts.
It's a bummer.
Yeah, but I still think maybe if you think the Helverin's the one you take and the Warglaive's the one you don't, I could see the Warglaive in B. I'm not sure which one's better. I still like the Warglaive.
I think you have to have both. There's not a list I've built yet that I felt comfortable taking all
of one and not the other. It's fair. So then at that point, I think it's just bottom of A tier.
Yeah, because they have to be in your list. They are the function that allows the rest of your army to be built.
Yeah.
And play the game.
I think I agree. So that's everything in the Codex.
Yeah.
We are going to talk about the Imperial Armor ones as well.
Should we go to and start with our friend the Armiger that we do have in the Imperial Armor book?
Sure, let's do the Morax first.
He's 10 points more expensive.
And worse.
He has a worse datasheet ability and worse weapon options.
And he costs more.
And
But at least he's worse. Yeah. Look, I think he's straight to D tier.
Yeah. I've tried so hard to find, I was trying to convince John that like double Siege Claw 1 would be a discount carnivore, and he's like, you don't get anything extra for the second Siege Claw.
It's just it's not it. I'm sorry, I wish it was. I just don't think it is.
Yeah. If it dropped down to 140, if the weapons got any kind of tweaks at all,
if it wasn't more expensive and worse, yeah. But the problem is the comparison, right?
Yeah.
It's when there's a cheaper option that's better, you just never take it.
Yep.
The only time you need more Armigers is when they're battle line, because you don't need more than 6 Armigers in any of the detachments besides Spearhead. And then when you're playing Spearhead, you get 12. You're like, oh, right, I don't actually need to dip into this for a 13th Armiger, because you're going to take some Questoris Knights before then.
Here's the one place, and somebody out there run this list and let me know.
Yeah.
But you could run a Spearhead detachment with a Preceptor and 3 Moiraxes with Volkite.
Reroll a bunch of wounds, dub wounds. Okay. You know what?
8 shots each.
They have like 2 damage dub wounds.
Yeah.
That's not the worst thing I've heard you say today.
I'll take that, everyone. I will take that.
You
could maybe convince me that could work, and especially with the ability to repick the quarry after you kill it. So you're always basically going to hand those Moiraxes full rerolls to wound.
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay.
I could be convinced of that. That's not bad. All right. Maybe does that put it to
No, it doesn't move it at a D tier for me.
Okay.
But maybe if I can win a GT with that, John, then
you could. I'd be impressed. If you do, they're going to C tier.
It'll be in C tier in the next.
Then we're going to
hold me to it. I'll get it nerfed. Yes, we have the 2 Acastus Knights.
Yeah.
Class into their own.
Acastus at the top, baby. Both of these knights are
priced out of viability.
They're priced out of viability. They're like T13, they're 30 wounds. They have guns that are genuinely good on face value, and then you realize that they cost about the same as 2 knights.
Yeah.
And that's where you're just like, it's a 550 point data sheet that costs 700 points.
You hit the nail on the head right there. If we saw a drop, I would certainly be interested. If we saw a run of kind of what we'd seen where it's a CK and IK total meta, and you're like, I'm bringing a Porphyron because I'm going to, okay, sure. If you can get the right matchups, there's that guy out there you'll do for 2.
Yeah. I think it's very clear that these data sheets are costed to not be problematic because they realize that they don't want to remove options from the Knight armies, but they also realize they don't want this to be good.
Yeah. So they're both solidly in D tier.
Yeah, both the Acastus Knights, Asterius, Porphyrion, straight to the bottom, D tier. Sorry, they cost too much. I cannot pay 765 points of good conscience.
Nope.
I'm so close to 2 knights at that point that I will just find them. I will cut an agent.
I do wonder if somebody somewhere would be like, I'm going to free blade in a Porphyrion.
You could, but I wouldn't.
No.
You could, but I wouldn't.
Imperial agents that could answer some questions.
I suppose it could.
If we keep going alphabetically, we get to our the other ones that I have no qualms putting in D tier. And you can, I don't know, you'll convince me otherwise, but the Acheron, Cerestus Acheron.
If we go to the Cerestus Knights, the Acheron's the worst one.
Yep. It's a worse flamer than the Valiant.
Yep.
And its combat is bad.
Stripping cover is cool, but its combat isn't great. It doesn't give a ton with its ability. It just doesn't do much.
It doesn't keep its invuln in combat where it arguably wants to be.
It's the worst of the Cerastus Knights. And the Cerastus Knights are already a little bit pricier. And so you have to really talk yourself into upgrading to Cerastus. And if you're doing that, you're going to take an equally costed Castigator that's better in every way.
100%.
And I agree. That's unfortunate. But yeah, the Acheron, I'm with you. D tier on the Acheron.
And the Castigator, that's the next one, right? I think he's the B tier version of the Warden.
Yeah. I'd still like bottom of B for me.
Oh, yeah.
Even though we're doing this whole thing, it's just better than a Warden. It is.
It's still not
part of the better than all the other knights.
Taking.
Yeah.
You again, in Spearhead, you can convince me there's an argument for that handing 3 different knights plus 1 AP and sustained.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm willing to listen that out.
Mm-hmm.
Because that can be wildly game-changing in the functionality of a Helverin's datasheet. But beyond that, again, I think one of the major knocks for me against the Castigator also is he has the sword. He wants to be in combat. He does not keep his invuln. And that is one of the calling cards to me of the Cerastus Knights.
All of these knights that want to be in combat don't have an invuln are very scary because sometimes they just die.
Or if, they clear the first line and they get countercharged.
And then they just die.
They just die.
And it's
it's terrible.
I'm with you on that. So yeah,
There's nothing worse than a 400-point model that doesn't get a save.
B tier I'm okay with.
Low end of B tier.
Yep.
And it's because it's the upgraded version of the Warden to me.
Yeah. How about the Lancer? Better as a combat knight who has an invuln. We talked about this with the Gallant.
Yeah.
I'll take the speed and the defense over the other factors when it comes to what do I want in a melee knight.
I don't know. That puts him into A tier for me, though.
I don't think it does. I think he's the upper end of B tier. I think he's up there with that paladin, that preceptor is like, oh, this is the knight that could make the jump.
He's the toughest model you're going to put on the table.
Yes.
As far as the toughest model to chew through.
Absolutely.
But you still are living and dying by a 4-up.
Yes.
And
great when it's great, bad when it's bad.
yeah.
I can still get behind the Lancer. I think he's quite good he's pretty solid in Gate Warden. He's pretty solid in Questoris.
Both
Very solid.
Yeah.
Great in Questoris even.
Yeah.
I think that in Valor Strike, he's merely fine, and you probably don't need him in Spearhead.
Yeah.
And so to me,
Unless
that
you want to yeet a bunch of armor, you want 3 advanced in charge.
it's cool, but I don't want it that badly.
I'd rather them be better.
Yes. I think we're just looking at 3.
Yeah.
Like just B tier, top
Yeah.
B tier.
If he, yeah. Yep. That's where he's got to live. I won't again, if you include him in a list, I'm not going to be like, I think you're insane.
No, but he's fine.
Yeah.
He's just not like setting the bank on fire.
Nope.
There's one more Cerastus Knight.
Yeah, that we jumped ahead of alphabetically.
I know, I noticed, but
And-
it's all right.
And
It's your favorite one too.
the A he begins with is important, and it's the Atropos. Yours is sitting right up there, watching over
I was
us.
curious if he was up there.
And the Atropos to me is the best Cerastus Knight option, and
Yep.
is an A tier knight.
Yep. And it keeps the invul in combat that stops you from getting oops, I died to an enthusiastic Karn the Betrayer.
Yep. Or some Votan that decided to add AP to their axes.
Yeah, just there's a lot of AP 1 and 2 in the game, but sometimes you find an AP 4 and you're like, oh, wow.
Bye.
Yep. It's like, oh, wow. Azrael's AP 4 in combat. Oh,
Bellencourt cut me in half.
Bellencourt
Great.
cut you in half. Just like, oh, yeah.
It's
You can't roll dice.
Angron makes the charge.
Yeah,
At least I have a save.
getting a 5 of save means you could survive an Angron. You're not going to be happy at the end of it, but you could survive. But the other knights just die.
Yeah. And I think he's single-handedly the best hybrid knight we have.
Yeah.
That is impactful in the shooting phase and the fight phase.
Because he has 2 guns, but is still good in combat.
I don't think he's S tier because his guns, well,
They're a little unreliable.
They're
He's a
variable
little
shots.
pricey,
he's a little pricey.
but he's very good.
He's very good. He has a 12-inch move versus a 10-inch. He keeps his invuln in combat. His guns are good profiles.
For me, he's the top of A.
Yes.
He's not the auto take that the defender is, but
Nope.
he is then usually the best knight.
He is one of the top 3 choices after a defender
Yeah.
when you're building a list.
Yep. And in most attachments, maybe not Spearhead. In the other 3, I think I would take him.
No, I think in the other 3, he shines in any of them. He can take advantage of any of the buffs that they give.
Yeah.
Other than in Gate Warden, he already has sustain. I don't know if you're
But if you
dying.
find him a crit 5, you're not mad.
That's true. That's true. If you can make him an Atropos Canis. Yeah. All right. You're not wrong, John. You're not
Also,
wrong.
He's low enough volume that ignoring hit mods helps a lot.
It does because stealth, things like that, or even when he's shooting infantry and he just doesn't get that +1 to hit.
Just matters, yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's the high end of A tier. I think he's in that, for me, A tier is that branch of these are the other big knights I'm filling out my detachment with.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's like there's a clear top 4. And because
Defender?
Defender is the one you take.
Yep.
Then you take 2 out of 3 of Canis, Crusader, Atropos. You take 2 out of 3 of those. If you do a 4-knight list, maybe you take all 4, maybe you double up on 1.
Or you dip down and look at the Paladin.
And then, yeah, there's those top of B tier knight, those 3, the Lancer, the Paladin, and the Preceptor. Maybe one of those 3 sneaks up. Yep. I doubt 2 of them sneak up, but maybe in one of the detachments you find a nice, like, oh, I like advance and charge on the Lancer, so when I play Questoris, I'll sneak the Lancer up into the
I take advantage of
triumvirate.
enrollment.
And maybe I'm playing Valor Strike and the Paladin will sneak up. Maybe I'm playing Gate Ward, the Preceptor will sneak up. Something will cause one of those top B tier knights to sneak up, but otherwise there's like a clear top 4. You take the Defender, you take your favorite 2 of the next 3.
Yeah.
and you can mix it up as the weather strikes you or as the meta changes.
We have 2 more knights that keep their involvement in combat, which is the 2 Questoris chassis within Imperial Armor, which is the
Cyrix and the Megara.
But unfortunately,
Their output is not there, and so it doesn't matter.
It's not there. The lightning cannon is not what it was in 8th and 9th edition. It's paying. It's paying for being a staple and having everyone run 3 of it.
Yeah, I do own 3.
As do I. I do think I was remarking to John before, if we find some ways within our rules to get wound rerolls, you could start to convince me on the Cyrix.
Yeah, because it's the same gun as the Abominant.
Same gun as the Abominant. And if you could find a way to reroll wounds.
There isn't.
But we don't have that. So, for me, he just firmly sits down on the bottom. Until there's a fundamental change, or their bondsman abilities get updated again, or their points cost drops.
Something's got to happen.
I can't see a reason to include him.
For me, the main problem is that I cannot stomach a knight that doesn't do good damage, because a knight that just sits there and gets wailed on dies no matter how tough it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I have this 5-up involvement in combat, but I'm not killing enough to get my opponent off of me. Just means it takes them 2 turns to kill you instead of 1, but they're still there for the 2 turns.
Yeah.
You can fix that by falling back with your knight and doing nothing, but like, it's just not worth it. So
no.
Both of those knights, are they hitting D? Are they C?
They're D.
Yeah, they'll just.
If you put it in a list, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions.
Yeah, no, they're worse than the Warden.
Yeah.
All right. So, yep, D tier on those ones.
D tier for those. So we had more residents in the D tier than I thought we would.
Yeah, I think most of them were Imperial Armor.
Yeah.
I don't think a single Codex Knight made it to D tier.
No.
The Valiant and the Warden were what we saw as
We're
the
not
worst.
on the
Those
door.
were still in C. They still have something going on. But unfortunately, with Imperial Armor, we have like 1 knight that's good, 2 or 3 that are, I could look at that, and the rest is just not as good as the Codex equivalents, and so it just gets priced out immediately.
Yep. It's unfortunate, but
I could just
the reality.
I could never take a Megara when a Paladin is right there. Yeah. I just couldn't do it. Or 5 Benvold's cool, but it's not worth a worse gun, worse ability, worse
everything.
Just can't do it.
Yeah.
So that's everything in the Codex there.
Yeah.
So we still quite a few options in A tier.
Yeah. I think, again, we kind of have an embarrassment of riches that we haven't had before. I mean, we went through this. There's 12 data sheets in the Codex, and there's another 8 to 10 in the Imperial Armor.
Mm-hmm.
And between S, A, and B, I think we had 12 data sheets.
Yeah, a good number.
Which is, we've just never been in a place that you had that many options that you might want to include in a list.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, some of them are clearly lesser than, but I do think that our detachments are different enough that you can find a place for them to shine.
Yeah, you really could.
I'm just really excited to see what the community comes up with. Like, I know I'm seeing some things that I'm excited about, but somebody else is going to figure it out. And I'm be like, oh,
absolutely. We're going to see new combos. We always do when these codexes come out. We're going to actually find out that we read one rule very slightly wrong. And there was a comma instead of a period, and it happens every time. And so we'll be like, oh, wow, I didn't realize you got both of those. I thought it was or, and there's always something, but lots of excitement here.
For sure.
I know we talked a lot about the different detachments. It excites me that there are genuinely 4 detachments that you can play out of 4.
And they
even Spearhead, I think, is still quite good. I
do. I think they're Spearhead lists that are going to be good, and I love that each of them can make different units shine. And I hope that even if Valor Strike may be a little much to start with, my hope is that we can rein in that detachment and not target data sheets, because on a data sheet strength-wise, other than the Defender, which is just anchoring the design space.
Yeah.
Outside of it, I don't think that any of them are wild. They all have a weakness.
They do, yeah.
Our units are not like you just put it on the table and everyone's like, I don't know how to deal with it. Like, you put canvas on the table, cool, charge me with anything with high AP.
Yeah, and that loss of the feel no pain across the board is going to be felt in the defense on these things.
Yeah.
So it is very real, and it's better than the index, and then it's worse than the index in different ways. And
the feel no pain really helped mask that decrease in toughness and the trade up for wounds. It felt more, actually, in some ways, better.
Yep.
I think now that loss of the feel no pain, Knight players are going to be surprised.
I think you're going to feel it.
So, but all that said, I think they're also going to be surprised at how much fun the data sheets and the detachments are. And I'm excited to hear who disagrees with us wildly.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you cook up and what the community cooks up. So if you like Imperial Knights, if you think we're missing on one of these data sheets, let us know what your favorite knight is. Let us know in the comment section. Of course, leave a comment, like this video, share with your friends, subscribe. All of these YouTube buzzwords, well, they help us grow the YouTube channel. And so it helps us make videos for you to watch. Of course, we have more Imperial Knight content. If you want to see the Codex review, it's on this channel. If you want to see us talk about how it's going to impact the meta, that's probably going to happen in the next couple weeks as well. So subscribe to the channel and you see it. And we have those games in the war room. Got one up there now and some more coming out soon. Thank you so much for watching this, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you, Brian, for coming on and talking about your favorite knights with us.
Happy to be here.
And we will see you all next time. Bye-bye.